Jimmy sat at his desk, the monotonous hum of fluorescent lights overhead blending with the soft clatter of keyboards and muted conversations of his coworkers. His life as an office worker was as gray and uninspiring as the cubicle walls surrounding him. Day in and day out, he shuffled papers, typed reports, and answered emails, dreaming of something more vibrant and exciting. He wasn't unhappy, per se, but there was a gnawing sensation deep inside, a feeling that he wasn't living as his true self. For as long as he could remember, Jimmy had felt a pull towards something different, something that society's rigid expectations had told him wasn't for him. This longing began as a simple curiosity in his teenage years when he'd sneak into his older sister's room to try on her dresses, experimenting with makeup in front of her vanity mirror. Back then, it had felt like a daring act, but now, in his late 20s, the urge was more profound. It wasn't just about dressing up. It was about expressing a side of himself that had been locked away for too long. One evening, after a particularly grueling day at work, Jimmy sat on his couch scrolling through social media. His thumb paused over a picture of a glamorous model in a striking gown, her confidence radiating through the screen. The caption read, "Be the version of yourself you've always dreamed of." The words struck a chord. He stared at the image, the model's boldness inspiring something deep within him. That night, Jimmy made a decision. He wasn't just going to dream about being someone else. He was going to take the first step toward becoming her. The transformation began in small, tentative steps. Jimmy started with online orders, a sleek black wig, some makeup essentials, and a few stylish outfits he'd always admired but never dared to wear. The packages arrived discreetly, and he opened them with a mix of excitement and trepidation, as though each item symbolized a piece of the puzzle that was his true self. In the privacy of his apartment, Jimmy transformed into Jenny for the first time. The process was slow and meticulous. He carefully applied foundation, experimented with eyeliner, and painted his lips a daring shade of red. When he finally slipped into a shimmering blue dress and looked in the mirror, he barely recognized himself. "Jenny," he whispered, testing the name on his lips. It felt right. It felt natural. But stepping outside as Jenny was a different story. The thought of being seen by others filled him with a mix of fear and exhilaration. He decided to test the waters one evening by taking a stroll in a quiet park near his apartment. As he walked, he felt the cool breeze against his bare legs, the click of his heels on the pavement, and the freedom of finally being himself. A chance encounter that night changed everything. As Jenny passed a cafe, a woman sitting near the window noticed her. With a wide smile, she stepped outside and introduced herself. "Hi, I'm Clara," she said. "I couldn't help but notice your outfit. You've got such a unique look." Jenny flushed with both pride and nervousness. "Thank you," she said softly. Clara, a professional fashion photographer, was always on the lookout for fresh faces and interesting styles. Intrigued by Jenny's elegance and poise, she asked if Jenny had ever considered modeling. Jenny's heart raced. "Modeling? No, I've never done anything like that." "Well, you should," Clara said. "You've got a natural presence. If you're interested, I'd love to do a test shoot with you." Jenny hesitated for a moment before nodding. This was the opportunity she never knew she'd been waiting for. The first shoot was a whirlwind of emotions. Clara had rented a small studio and provided a selection of stunning outfits. As Jenny stood in front of the camera, the initial nerves melted away. She felt alive, empowered, and beautiful. Clara's encouragement helped her relax, and soon, Jenny was posing like a pro, her movements fluid and confident. "You're natural," Clara said, reviewing the photos. "Seriously, Jenny, you have what it takes to make it in this industry." Jenny beamed, but the euphoria was tinged with a pang of uncertainty. She hadn't told Clara the truth, that Jenny was still, legally and biologically, Jimmy. As the weeks passed, Jenny and Clara became fast friends. They collaborated on more shoots, and Jenny's portfolio grew. Clara began introducing Jenny to people in the fashion industry, and soon opportunities started pouring in. Jenny's big break came when a renowned designer saw her photos and invited her to walk in a runway show. The event was a glamorous affair, filled with flashing cameras, high-profile guests, and cutting-edge fashion. As Jenny strutted down the runway in a breathtaking gown, the applause was deafening. She had never felt so confident, so alive. But living a double life wasn't easy. By day, Jimmy continued to slog away at his office job, his co-workers none the wiser about his secret life. By night, Jenny was becoming a rising star in the fashion world. The contrast was stark, and the strain of maintaining the facade began to take its toll. One evening, after a particularly successful shoot, Clara invited Jenny out for drinks to celebrate. Over cocktails, Clara casually mentioned, you're going to have to go all in at some point. Modeling isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. Are you ready for that? Jenny hesitated. I don't know if I can. There's a lot about me you don't know. Clara tilted her head, sensing the weight behind Jenny's words. You can tell me, she said gently. Taking a deep breath, Jenny explained everything, her life as Jimmy, the struggles of hiding her true self, and her fear of being rejected by the industry. When she finished, she braced herself for Clara's reaction. Clara reached across the table and took Jenny's hand. Jenny, the fashion world thrives on authenticity and breaking boundaries. You're not just a model, you're a trailblazer. Own your story. It's what makes you special. With Clara's support, Jenny decided to take the plunge. She quit her office job, came out publicly as a transgender woman, and embraced her identity fully. The response from the fashion community was overwhelmingly positive. Designers praised her courage, fans admired her authenticity, and Jenny became a symbol of empowerment and self-expression. Her journey wasn't without challenges. There were moments of doubt, criticism, and setbacks. But through it all, Jenny remained resilient, driven by the knowledge that she was finally living her truth. Years later, as she graced the cover of a major fashion magazine, Jenny reflected on her incredible transformation. She had gone from a timid office worker to a celebrated fashion diva, but more importantly, she had found the courage to be herself. Looking into the camera with a radiant smile, she thought of the words that had inspired her journey, "Be the version of yourself you've always dreamed of." And Jenny had done just that. As Jenny's career took off, her days became a whirlwind of photo shoots, runway rehearsals, and interviews. Invitations to exclusive fashion events poured in, and her social media following exploded. Every post she made, from behind-the-scenes glimpses of her shoots to heartfelt messages about self-love and authenticity, garnered thousands of likes and comments. Jenny wasn't just a model. She was becoming an icon. But with fame came new challenges. The industry loved her, but there were always whispers. Tabloids occasionally published headlines about her past, speculating about her transition, and using her story to stir controversy. Some brands were hesitant to work with her, not because of her talent, but because of the stigma they feared it might bring. It was a harsh reminder that, despite her success, the world still had a long way to go in accepting people like her. Jenny refused to let it deter her. Instead, she used these moments to amplify her voice. During one particularly contentious interview, a journalist asked her a pointed question about whether her past disqualified her from being a real model. Jenny, poised and graceful, responded with a smile. "A real model," she said, "is someone who inspires, someone who tells a story and connects with people. My story is part of who I am, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. If that makes me different, then I embrace that. Because being different is what makes us beautiful." Her answer went viral. Clips of her interviews spread across the internet, earning her praise from fans, activists, and even industry veterans. For many, Jenny became a beacon of hope, proof that authenticity could thrive in even the most judgmental of industries. As her public persona blossomed, Jenny found herself reconnecting with the people from her past. Her parents had always been supportive of her decisions, but had struggled to understand her journey fully. When she first revealed her modeling career to them, they were shocked but proud, marveling at the confidence and beauty she exuded in her photos. One weekend, Jenny invited her parents to attend one of her runway shows. It was a significant event. She was the closing model for a prestigious designer. As she walked down the runway, her parents watched from the front row, their faces glowing with pride. After the show, her mother hugged her tightly. "You've always been special," her mother said, tears in her eyes. "But seeing you like this, so happy and confident, it's like you've finally found where you belong." Her father, usually a man of few words, nodded. "You've done something incredible, Jenny. You've shown the world who you are, and you've made us proud." Despite the support from her family and friends, Jenny still faced moments of loneliness. The life of a model was demanding, often isolating, and Jenny longed for someone to share it with. Clara, ever the supportive friend, encouraged her to put herself out there. "Jenny," Clara said one evening over dinner, "you've conquered the fashion world. Why not give love a chance? You deserve it." Jenny laughed, swirling her wine glass. "Oh, sure. Between 5 a.m. call times and 16-hour shoots, I'll just squeeze in dating." Clara smirked. Love doesn't wait for perfect timing. It happens when you least expect it. True to Clara's words, love found Jenny in the most unexpected of places. She met Alex, a photographer, at a charity event. He was kind, witty, and refreshingly down-to-earth. They struck up a conversation about the event's theme, sustainability in fashion, and discovered a shared passion for creating positive change in the industry. Their connection grew quickly. Alex admired Jenny's resilience and authenticity, and Jenny was drawn to his unwavering support and understanding. He never treated her as a curiosity or a spectacle. To him, she was simply Jenny, a talented, passionate woman who had worked tirelessly to achieve her dreams. Their relationship wasn't without its challenges. Jenny worried about the scrutiny that came with her fame and how it might affect Alex. But Alex, ever the steady anchor, reassured her. "I don't care what people say," he told her one evening. "You've shown the world who you are, and I'm proud to stand by your side." As Jenny's career entered its second year, she began to think about her legacy. She didn't want to be remembered solely as a model. She wanted to make a lasting impact. Inspired by her own journey, she decided to launch a foundation to support young people struggling with gender identity and self-expression. The foundation provided scholarships, mentorship programs, and safe spaces for LGBTQ+ youth to explore their passions. The launch event was a star-studded affair, attended by designers, celebrities, and activists. Jenny took the stage in a stunning gold gown, her voice steady as she spoke to the crowd. "This foundation is more than a dream," she said. "It's a promise to the next generation that they don't have to hide who they are, that they can be bold, fearless, and unapologetically themselves. Because every one of us deserves to feel seen and celebrated." The applause was thunderous, and Jenny felt a sense of fulfillment she hadn't experienced before. Modeling had given her a platform, but this was her purpose, using her voice to create change. Years passed, and Jenny's influence only grew. She became a staple at fashion weeks, graced the covers of top magazines, and was invited to speak at conferences around the world. Yet, she remained humble, never forgetting the shy office worker she had once been. One evening, as she prepared for yet another runway show, she received a letter from a fan. It was from a young person who had been inspired by Jenny's story to come out to their family. The letter ended with a simple but powerful message: "Thank you for showing me that it's okay to be me." Jenny held the letter close, tears welling in her eyes. It was moments like this that reminded her why she had started this journey. It wasn't just about the glitz and glamour. It was about authenticity, courage, and making a difference. On the 10th anniversary of her modeling debut, Jenny stood on stage at an awards ceremony, accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award for her contributions to fashion and advocacy. As she looked out at the crowd, her parents, Alex, Clara, and countless friends and supporters, she felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. "When I started this journey," she said, her voice filled with emotion, "I never imagined I'd be standing here today. I was just a person searching for a way to express myself, to live my truth. But this journey has shown me that when we embrace who we are, we don't just change our own lives. We inspire others to do the same. Thank you for believing in me, for supporting me, and for allowing me to share my story." This is for everyone who has ever felt like they didn't belong. You do. And you always will. The applause was deafening, and Jenny smiled through her tears. She had come a long way from the cubicles and fluorescent lights, from the days of hiding who she was. Now, she stood as a woman who had transformed not just herself, but the world around her. Jenny was no longer just a name. She was a symbol, a movement, and a testament to the power of living authentically. And she knew, deep in her heart, that this was only the beginning. Thank you so much for watching till now. It means the world to have you here. This community is all about empowering each other and celebrating the incredible journeys of everyone on their path to living authentically. If you're ever feeling lost or alone, remember you have a whole family here for you. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button. And let's keep inspiring each other, sending you all the love and strength in the world. Until next time, live your life by your rules.